Hello and welcome to the Positive Sports Report for Season 4, covering middle school athletics for the San Juan Unified School District. I'm your host, Dana Smith. I'm a teacher and coach at Carnegie Middle School, and I'm the Middle School Athletics Director for San Juan Unified School District. In this episode, we're going to be looking at part 1 of A Letter to My Athletes, which covers resilience. We have an interview with the new principal at Arcade Middle School, Mark Euler. And we'll do some review of last year and what's upcoming for the podcast and the athletic season for 2025-26. Let's roll. So in this first episode, we're going to cover the first part of a 3-part series on this letter to our athletes, in which we're talking about resilience. One of the many joys of coaching and leading is seeing those who you work with grow and thrive as they master new skills, become better athletes, and most importantly, learn the valuable life skills presented through sports. Resilience, or the ability to overcome obstacles in obtaining one's goals, is one of the many aspects of our athletes that we can develop through our work as coaches by providing opportunities to promote and make a regular practice of resilience. In sport, athletes demonstrate resilience when they work through their comfort zone, mentally, physically, and emotionally, to overcome the obstacles they face in training and competition. In the next episode, we'll hear from the letter as an example of how we can install resilience in our athletes. All right, we are lucky enough as we get back to school here and get back to doing the podcast. We have a new principal at one of our middle schools over at Arcade, and full disclosure, I've known this guy for a long time. We were teaching neighbors for 20 years at Carnegie Middle School. And then when he left there, he became a vice principal at Del Campo, then moved over as a vice principal at Mara Loma High School, and is now the new principal at Arcade Middle School. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Always knew it would happen. And they wasted time leaving you where you were and not getting you in charge someplace earlier. So, but I'm very happy because Mark not only taught at Carnegie, but he coached there. So he is very familiar with our athletics programs at the middle school level. He's been a big part of them when he was a teacher at Carnegie, but also when he was a vice principal at Del Campo and Mara Loma. He's always been one of my go-to people in order to get facilities for track and field and for cross country. So, always been a big part of what we've done, knows the programs very well. So I obviously am very excited to have him heading up one of our middle schools. So how's it going as principal so far there, Mr. Euler?
So far, so good. They, the kids are smaller and there's fewer of them, so it's a little bit of a nice adjustment. But finally, after what 30 years? Well, no, it was a 10-year hiatus. I'm now back at middle school, so
You
it's
got to
nice.
ease into these things.
I do.
It's like a very warm bath. You don't just jump in because you get burned.
Well,
and
it's fun because the kids are starting to get to know my name, and I'm still like, "Hey, you."
Yeah.
Nice to see you. So
I've had a lot of former students named Hey You.
yes.
So when I see them now as adults, I hope they work someplace where they have a name tag on. I just tell them, I'm very bad at names, so you just got to tell me.
Forgive me in advance.
Yes. All right. So you're ready for your warm-up question?
I'm ready.
All right. You're going to be shocked that I would ask you this. Who is and I think I know the answer. Who is your favorite author, living or dead?
Mark Twain.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be that one.
Yeah. No, that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you work on Twain a few times in our career.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping Frog and the stories that go with it. Yeah. Getting to resuscitate a frog.
Yes, that's weird how you forget these things. And you mentioned that, and I just thought about that poor little frog on the parking lot outside my classroom. That was some very strange CPR. So
I do not condone that. I do not prescribe that, but we did it.
But you do what's necessary in the moment.
It's true.
When a frog goes down, you got to work on him and help him out. All right. So, Mark, as you return to the middle school level, coming from the high school level, what's your vision for the role of athletics? What role that will play in the education of your middle school students?
Sure. Well, first of all, there's no greater tie or connection for a student to a campus than through sports. Myself, I definitely felt that that opportunity, that connection when I was in school myself. Being an athlete, having a different sense of what it means to be, on a campus, part of the culture. Having athletics tie into the campus itself is just it's a strength. It really is. So definitely promoting that, the discipline that it takes for a student to do their work, to study for tests, to get work done. It's very similar to what athletics promotes, right? The
Right.
discipline to excel, the discipline to do the day-to-day grind. So,
Right. And just being responsible to teammates and wearing the school's name on your chest and have responsibility for that.
yeah,
There's so many life skills that come out of participating in school sports. It's it's odd to me sometimes how it doesn't click in a little bit more easily at some places than others. But we know the value of that, and we definitely get that from our kids.
yeah.
As an administrator, how does connecting with those student athletes on campus impact both them and the campus culture?
Well, and this is, I think it goes to the first piece, which is making connections to build a culture on campus, right? And athletics aside, you have to know your kids, you have to know what their interests are. So getting to know people, communication's huge, and that's a crossover with sports, right? So communicating with your team. So on a campus, obviously, as an administrator, part of a team, you don't have success individually. And so you have to be able to communicate your needs. You have to be able to provide a direction. And oftentimes it's not just myself at the lead, it's others that have had experiences. And so I think that that's really kind of the culture that you look for on a campus plus on a team is you
Right.
want everyone to have that capacity to lead. And so you really want to promote that.
And I think it's one of those huge things working with kids when they become leaders and they have opportunities to lead on a sports team or
Mhm.
in band or in choir, whatever the case may be. Those opportunities for leadership are so valuable to them as they grow into adults, go into high school and take on roles there. It's it's a all those things that come out of sports is so much more than a game and points
Yeah.
on a scoreboard. There's so much that comes out of it. The bang for your buck in education is huge
Yep.
when you talk about athletics.
Well, and connected to that is you may have a student in your classroom who's very reserved, right? You don't have much communication with them, but then you see them outside of your class, on the field, on the court, whatever the case, and they step into a different role. And so leadership exists in all capacities. And if we don't make that connection for students, if we don't have those opportunities for students, they're not going to have that, the well-roundedness there.
Right. Well, and when we're talking about building relationships with kids and
Yeah,
that helps make them successful, you're
yeah,
always looking for an open door with a kid to
yeah.
build those relationships. And people when we have dual meets for wrestling here at Carnegie, and those teachers just pop in, right?
Mhm.
Even if they don't stay the whole time, stay for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It's huge to those kids when they see their teacher stand there watching them do something that they work so hard at and
yeah,
supporting what they do. It's gold on your campus for your
it
campus
is.
culture.
It is.
All right. What do you feel is the most critical lesson that athletes can learn from their participation in middle school athletics?
First is teamwork, right? Regardless if you're in an individual sport or if you're in a team sport setting, just being able to work together with a teammate and promote, hey, win, lose, we're here to support you. We're here to, to promote your wins and recover from your losses, that type of thing. But I think just as important as the lesson for teamwork is kind of the dignity that you can learn from winning and losing, right? And how to do it with grace and how to do it in a way that's going to let you do this in life. You're going to fail. I mean, I tell my students, you fail more than you succeed. And if you don't take the lessons from sports and the classroom and pick it up and just move on and be able to do that again with grace and dignity, that's bigger than anything else.
Oh, absolutely. And there's, a couple of things. As soon as you start talking about that, the word grace came into my mind. And it's not
Yeah.
just being graceful when you lose
Mm-mm,
and you're upset and the emotions come up, but
mm-mm.
winning with grace as well, and not taunting other people or putting in their face, being able to shake hands with your opponent, thank them for the opportunity to help you grow and
That's
help
it.
them learn from, because it's a test, right? When we go out there and compete, we're testing ourselves on what we worked on, just
That's
like we
right.
do in the classroom. We do a whole bunch of learning, then we test ourselves. We do the
That's right.
same thing with athletics, and we're testing to learn those life lessons and how we're going to handle ourselves later on in life.
That's it.
All right, Mr. Euler, again, congratulations on taking the helm at Arcade, and you have a very nice gym over there, by the way.
We do. We do.
We wrestled in there last year, so
We
you have
we
to come
use
over to your old haunts this year and watch your kids wrestle.
well, like I was we use the blueprints of the Smithnasium,
There you
but it
go.
just hasn't made it that far out to
You
you.
can't lose if you go with the Smithnasium design. That's for sure.
Sure. Sure.
It's a hard word to say too. All right, thank you, Mr. Euler, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there at the sporting events this year.
I'll be there.
All right, bye, Mark.
See ya.
All right, to wrap things up, we're going to go back to last year to cover a couple of district champions and give them a congratulations. First of all, in wrestling, Carnegie pulled off their second straight district championship. They also won the Northern California Regional Championship, being El Dorado, Placer, and Sacramento counties. So, congratulations to the Scots. Full disclosure, I am the coach of that team and very proud of what they were able to do last year. In track and field, Churchill, very impressive, pulled off something only two other teams have ever done. That is a sweep of all divisions in the district championship. So, congratulations to Churchill. All right, for this year, our schedule for the podcast will be as follows. We're going to do this episode at the beginning of the year. At the end of a quarter, we'll do another episode. So 5 episodes total for this school year. I want to thank Mark Euler from Arcade for joining us for the podcast. Thank you so much for sitting down and letting us pick your brain a little bit. Please subscribe to the podcast on your preferred podcast server and on YouTube. And please also follow us on Instagram. Until next time, let's keep our sports positive.